Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So recently, if you follow me on social media, you would have seen that I just graduated high school and I'm getting ready to move on to college. So my mom and dad decided to throw me a little graduation party, so I invited some of my friends and some of my family from New York came down to celebrate the day with me. So just as with any Guyanese party, there was no shortage of food. I decided to take my camera into the kitchen and go ahead and record some of the dishes that we made, and I'm going to show you all of the final products at the end of the video. I had both of my grandmothers in the kitchen, I had some of my aunts with me, and it was just an awesome day getting to sit with them in the kitchen, learn a little more from them, and just get to spend a lot of time with them. It was a great experience for me, and I'm so grateful for my family. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Of course, I couldn't forget the two ladies who really sparked my love for cooking, both of my grandmothers. You see my dad's mom on the left and my mom's mom on the right. I was so happy to have both of them with me and see me graduate and to have them in the kitchen today. It was one of the best things ever, and I had so much fun with them. The first thing that we did when we got into the kitchen was we started making the chicken curry. That was the dish that was going to take the longest to make, so we decided just to get that out of the way first. So in the bowl here, my mom's mom is mixing the masala mixture to go ahead and chunke the curry. So she has her garlic and pepper with some water that she went ahead and blended up. And then she added in some duck and goat curry powder. You know I like to use that when making nice dark and rich curries. And then she added in some nice homemade masala, and now she's going in with some regular curry powder. Since it's chicken curry, we didn't just use the duck and goat curry powder because we didn't want it to be too dark, but that also gives it a nice richness and a nice flavor. So we just went ahead and we mixed two different kinds of curry powders. So she's going to go ahead and mix this up with a little more water just to get it to the right consistency, and then we're going to start cooking the curry. This shot is pretty straightforward, guys. You're going to see my grandmother sliced up some onions, and now she's going ahead and chopping up some scallions or green onions. This is basically going to be our little flavor base for that chicken curry. Here we went ahead and heated up our karahi and we added in some oil, and now we're going in with our onions and the scallions. This is just going to saute until they get a little golden brown, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our masala mixture, fry that up, and then go ahead and add in our chicken. We ended up cooking about 6 small chickens, so we had to use 2 karahis for this because I didn't have a karahi that was big enough to accommodate all of the chickens. So we're just going to fry these up, and then I'll show you the shot when we added in the masala and we go ahead and add in our chicken. So this is where our kitchen really started to smell good, guys. All of that curry frying in the pot was just amazing, nice and aromatic. And of course, just like when I make any type of curry dish, once you see that masala mixture start to catch a little bit or stick a little bit at the bottom, and all of that oil starts to release from the spice mixture, that's your indication to go ahead and start adding in your meat. So we're adding in the chicken at this time, and the night before the party, my grandmothers, they chopped up all of the chickens, they cleaned the skin off, any fat, and they went ahead and washed it really well, and then they seasoned it with some culantro, they put some hot pepper, some garlic, and some black pepper, and they let that marinate overnight. Of course, if you wanted to, you could add in some of your green seasoning and stir that up and let that marinate. So they're adding it into the pan now. We're going to stir it up, let it release its juices, and then we can add some water a little later, and we're just going to let it boil down and cook. And here was the finished product. This was our chicken curry once it was done cooking, and it honestly was so delicious. My grandmothers did a great job making this chicken curry. We ended up taking out a little bit out of the pot, and we all ate some lunch because we were pretty hungry. We were cooking all day in the kitchen, so this was our lunch. We went ahead and took some out, and it was really enjoyable, really good, and it had a nice little kick to it, but it wasn't too spicy. And of course, no Guyanese party is complete without a big steaming pot of chow mein. This one came out really well. We decided to go simple and we did a quick vegetarian chow mein. And what my grandmother usually does while she's boiling her chow mein is she adds in some salt, some allspice seeds. Sometimes she'll add in some cashew if she has some on hand. And she added in a little bit of sesame oil just to flavor the noodles before frying it up with the rest of the vegetables. Once the chow mein noodles were done boiling, we emptied them out onto a foil tray so this way they wouldn't stick together after we drained them. And then we went ahead to go ahead and saute all of the veggies that would go into our chow mein. We have some garlic, some onion, some hot pepper, some scallions, as well as some bora in the pot here frying up in a little bit of oil. You're going to see my grandmother go in with some carrots at this point, and really our goal is to just heat these veggies through, because when you're eating your chow mein, you want to make sure you have a nice crunch to it. After this, we went ahead and we added some soy sauce, we added some sesame oil, and we tasted it for salt, and we added a little bit of black pepper. Once that was done, we actually just poured these veggies on top of the chow mein in the foil tray and tossed it up instead of adding all the chow mein back into the pot. So while the chicken curry was finishing up and the chow mein was being cooked, I actually mixed some bara, and I have that recipe on my channel, so make sure you check that out. And once I finished mixing it, I stuck it in the oven to let it rise, and I figured I had some time, but of course we had a little mishap and it ended up overflowing out of that bowl. I guess that yeast was like extra powerful that day, but we just ended up cleaning up, and I'm going to show you guys where we fried the bara. So once we cleaned up the little mess that occurred from that bara overflowing out of the bowl while it was rising, we went ahead and we heated up some oil, and we're using canola oil. If you wanted, you could use vegetable oil, and we just heated it up in a pretty big pot since we were making a lot of bara, and we started frying away. I am dropping in the bara dough now into the oil. As I said in my bara video, all you have to do is spread them in between your fingers, and of course before you do that you want to oil your fingers so the dough doesn't stick, and you'll have an easy time just throwing them into the oil. If you see the camera zooming in and out, it's my Auntie Chandra. She was experimenting with the camera a little bit, but that's okay. And of course you want to make sure that your oil is not too hot and it's not too cold, or else what's going to happen, if it's too cold, then the bar will suck up all of that oil and become very greasy, and if it's too hot, it'll actually burn on the outside without cooking the inside properly. And it didn't take a long time to fry out all of this bara because I had multiple people in the kitchen with me. So what I did was I was the one throwing the bara into the oil, and then somebody else was turning them and taking them out. Before we move on from the bara, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the ingredients. As I said before, I have this recipe on my channel, so make sure to check it out. But for this bara, I went ahead and I put in some flour, a little bit of split peas flour or dal powder. I have some pepper and garlic to give it that really nice bara flavor. And then I put in some salt, a little bit of baking powder and yeast. And of course, I added in some spinach or some bhaji. And of course, I had my mom's mom help me with this. She taught me how to make this, and I wanted to get it perfect. And when the bara was done frying, my Auntie Chandra made some of her special mango sour. We had some green mangoes in the pot. We put some garlic, some hot pepper, and then we added in a little bit of salt, some sugar, as well as some vinegar. This is her giving it the seal of approval, and it came out really well with the bara. I really enjoyed it, and you guys know I love my bara, so. And in this pot here, my dad's mom, or my other grandmother, she is preparing her famous shrimp fried rice. I'm telling you guys, any family event, she's always asked to make this fried rice because it is so good. And the ingredients are so simple, but the way she makes it, the flavor is just so distinct and it's so good, guys. So in the pot, she has some shrimp frying up in a little bit of oil with some cabbage. She added in some carrots and some scallions. And she does not add onions into this fried rice, which is pretty interesting, but it's still really good. And she seasons her rice with a little soy sauce, and that's pretty much it. One of the last things that we made, because it was so quick to make, was the shrimp scampi, and all we did was we melted quite a lot of butter at the bottom of the pot. That's just because it was a lot of shrimp that we were cooking. You need a good amount of butter to make a nice sauce. So we melted that butter, we added some grated garlic to give it a great flavor, and we just let that get nice and browned up. And once we saw that it was brown, we added in a little bit of white wine. And once that white wine boiled down and burned off a little bit, we went ahead and added our shrimp. And once those shrimp were pink, you can see we're topping it with some parsley now. And I'm telling you guys, this was so good. We tasted it for salt, and we boiled some linguine on the side. It was so delicious. And everyone at the party enjoyed it, so it was definitely a win. And I could not close out this video without showing you guys the awesome dessert table that we prepared. In those bags that you see, I made some mitai the night before, and I made the ones where I put the little colored layer in between. Everybody loved it. My mom ordered a graduation cake. We had a vanilla cake with some vanilla buttercream, and my Auntie Chandra and Auntie Kavita really came through with these cupcakes. Some were even filled with dulce de leche. It was so good, guys, and everybody really enjoyed the desserts. Before I end this video, I just wanted to give you the finishing lineup of all of the food that we had at the party. We had them all in foil trays, and we set them up on some sternos to keep everything nice and warm. You just saw that amazing chicken curry I showed earlier. We made some white rice to go along with that. My grandmother's famous shrimp fried rice is sitting right there, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. We also made a little bit of baked mac and cheese. It was so cheesy and creamy. And then we have some chow mein. That was the same chow mein that I was showing you guys before. Has all of those nice crunchy vegetables in it. And then we also made some veggie fried rice for anybody who doesn't eat shrimp. So that had some great vegetables in it. And we also had some dal puri to go ahead and serve with our chicken curry. And then the shrimp scampi is what you're seeing here. And those are those linguine noodles that we went ahead and served with it. And my Auntie Kavita also made some delicious pork. Guys, this pork was falling off of the bone. It was so good. And we also have a few little appetizers there, and some quiche, some puffs, some pigs in a blanket, and we also have that bara that we made earlier. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I had a great time cooking with all of my family for this party. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And make sure to leave all of your comments down below. I really want to hear your thoughts about what you thought about all of this food. So once again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys again with another one of my awesome recipes.